Hello guys, welcome to another YouTube tutorial. Today we are going to be looking at how we can recreate this chart logo, and the first thing we want to do is create a document. And for me, I created a document I called the chart logo. So I'm just going to add a second page. I have a page 2 there, so page 1 will be my reference and then page 2 will be where I recreate the logo. And so the first thing we want to do with this is to create, or rather identify, the shapes that are involved in the logo creation process. In this case, we are looking at a couple of circles, and I think we have like 6 circles combined and to form this chart logo, and they all look like they are intertwined, they are holding hands, if you call it that. So I think the first thing we have to do is to do a rundown. I created a circle, made a duplicate, and arranged them in such a way that they all lined up perfectly, and then I added a shape at the bottom to give it that chart feel, and there are a couple of things in between. So let's just start. So the first thing you want to do is create a first circle, and I'll just select my circle, my ellipse tool, and I'll hold my control and drag to create a circle. And this circle looks just about perfect. The second thing I'd like to do is to make duplicates of the circles, but in this case it's going to be stressful trying to get them to perfectly line up like another circle. So what I'll just do is I'll introduce I'll go to my windows, and under windows I'll go to Dockers, and under Dockers I'll look for transform, and I'll select it. It has a shortcut, alternate F7. So I'll select transform, and on the transform panel I'll select rotate. And for rotate, what we are trying to do here is we are trying to transform this object. We're trying to create a couple of, let's go to page 1 and see. We're trying to create 5 other circles, right? And each of them, and each of the circles are going to line up at an angle that will make them form a perfect circle. And I believe we all know math. If you're trying to create a perfect circle, I think the angle for that is 360 degrees, right? So we have 1 circle already, we need 5 more. So in this case I'm going to use rotate, and since we are trying to rotate it around a given origin point to give us a circle, we need 5 circles. We need 5 more circles at angles that will equal 360. So the first thing we want to do is to determine here how many copies we need. It's not the first, but I want to do it first. So I'm going to say we need 5 extra circles, right, plus the original to make it 6. And then at the angle, if you split 360 degrees into 6 shapes, you're going to be getting an angle of 60 each, right? So I think that's 60. 6 times 6 is 36. So yeah, we'll put an angle 60 here, and we need a direction. Right now the point that our circle is going to create it from is the center, and that is not what we need. We need it to come to create from an angle, to angle out from either the bottom right or the bottom left. So we'll just choose the bottom right in this case and angle it from there, and then we'll say apply, and there we have a result. So we're able to achieve this using the transform control. So the next thing we want to do is look at the shape, and yeah, I think we've arranged that, but you can see obviously that in this case they have holes in between the arms. So for us to achieve those holes as well in between the arms, we need to take out some parts of the circles. In this case, the parts we need to take out are these areas here that are jutting out. We need to take out these areas. So how do we do that? Well, we can go to our tools box, and under our tools box, just under the third tool, the crop tool, you can click on the tiny arrow and you find the virtual segment delete tool. Now the virtual segment delete tool is a very important tool in CorelDRAW, but a lot of people don't know about it. And what it does is it helps you remove overlapping segments in objects. So once it's selected, all you need to do is come over to this place and locate any area that is overlapping, like here, from here to here, and all you need to do is go on the line and click on it. It takes it out. Click on it like that, locate all the ones you need to take out and click on it. It takes the line out from the point of intersection, the first point of intersection, to the second point of intersection. So it takes them out, and then we are left with this. So you can see we have arrived at something similar to this, the difference being that this is thicker and that one is thinner. So right now, after removing all those excesses, what we need to do right now is increase the size of the shape. And to do that, we have to just select it all and go to the outline pen or width and do a, let's say 8 points. I think 8 points is fair. 8 point looks cool. We could do 6. Let's see. Let's leave it at 6. Let's leave it at 6. 6 looks okay. Yeah, 6 looks. And now if you look at it, you discover that, well, the base of the shapes are looking really funny. Well, not funny, they look like, obviously you can tell that the reason why it's like that is because the shapes are not joined. They are all separate shapes, right? Individual shapes that are trying to combine. So, but we need to we need to kind of like weld all these things together, join them together. So the first step to doing that is to making sure that all these shapes become one. So how do we do that? We select all the shapes and we go to under our properties bar, we locate weld. Now when you weld a shape, you simply combine the shapes into a single curve object with a single fill and outline. So in this case, we weld it. Now, but CorelDRAW is a very peculiar app, and I'll tell you how it does this. When you weld a shape, everything becomes one, but that doesn't mean that the loose ends are connected, right? In CorelDRAW, you can weld two shapes that are far from each other and the ones that are close to each other. It doesn't really matter. For you to combine the lines into one, you have to do a manual joining, all right? So in this case, you can see that even while they are all combined together, they still have individual. When you double click on it or when you select your shape tool, you notice that they have two nodes at the edges, so they are not combined, they are still separate. If you drag one of the nodes and bend it out, you notice it opens up, right? So you see they are not really connected even though they are joined. So what we need to do right now is join them. So double click on it or simply go to your shape tool, select it, then for each of those each of those edges, you select the two nodes there, you right click on it and you say join, and then it joins them. So you do that for all of them. You right click and join, select both, right click and join, select both, right click, and then you join. You do that for the rest of the shapes, and at this point you are pretty much done. So you see now you've actually achieved the joining of the shapes, and now everything looks really cool. But you notice that the shape has a bend, right? It doesn't look as straight as ours, so we need to tilt it a bit, like 60 degrees. So select the whole shape, click on it a second time, hold your control and just twist it one step. I think one step is okay. Yeah. So now the last thing to achieve is we need to add this edge that is jutting out. So how do we do that? It's simple. Well, we could grab any of our shape tools, any of our line tools. In this case, I'm going to use the 3-point curve because that is the one that creates a direct curve. So you select the 3-point curve, you come towards here, you just click inside here and drag, click and drag out to a position you like as a chart, and then bend it and click at the edge, drag it right inside and bend it again, and click here and just join it here and click, right? So we have our chart, and so you can select this and hold shift, select this. If you like your shape, if you're trying to achieve adjust it, you could double click on it and you could use any of the controllers to bend it in or out or make it really look as much as you like. You could do your editing, your adjusting to the shape. You could bring it out more, you could rotate it a bit, whatever it is you feel you need to do, you can do that directly here before you call it a wrap. So let's just say something like this, and then this is the part that we don't really calculate like the others. We just do it as per randomly, though you could still be a bit more calculating if you want to achieve that. So with this, you could select it and select these ones and weld it again so they all become one, and you see you've actually achieved the shape. Now, but there's one last thing left. If you look at the color, you notice that the top area is brighter, the bottom area is darker. In CorelDRAW, you cannot do that to an outline because the lines of the circle is an outline. You can only give it a single color. If you want to give it multiple colors, then you have to convert the outline to an object, and that is what we are going to do. So we select the shape. To convert the outline to an object, you go to your objects menu, and under your objects menu, you come down all the way to convert outline to object, Ctrl Shift Q. So you click on it and that happens. So right now you could give a feel to the object. It's no longer an outline. You can see from the properties bar that the outline is no longer indicating 6 points anymore, but rather it is saying none, because this is now a fill. This area is now a fill area, so we can fill it with a color or a gradient. In this case, just select it, press your G for your interactive fill tool and select your fountain fill And for the first color, you could just pick a light green, come to the green palette here, pick a light green like so. And then on the second color, the white, you could pick a dark green. Still on the same palette, you just do a darker shade of green like that and close this. And then you could drag this one to the bottom area and take this one a bit to the top area like that. And you are pretty much done. So this shape, you just position it, press your P and it stays in the center. You could double click on the box to add a rectangle around your document, and you maybe give it black, and see what you've been able to achieve. So this is this. I think the green here looks a little bit lighter and less saturated, which is fine. This one looks a bit too much. You can hold your control and mix it with white to make it a bit saturated as well, less saturated. Yep. You do undo. And I think mine is thinner. Should probably have stuck to 8 points, but the idea is we achieved the logo just fine. If you like this video, do leave a thumbs up, and you could drop a comment. And I like requests. If you really have a request for a video that you want me to do, you could send your comments you could drop a comment on the comment section and I'll reply you. But until then, see you next time.